Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab. Today I'm going to make some color swatches from a company called Dyespin. I'd never heard of Dyespin up until about a month or so ago, and so I decided to go ahead and order a few of their dyes and try them out. I purchased the dyes with my own money, so they didn't sponsor this video. I'm prepping these color swatches the way I have the rest of the color swatches that I've made. I've taken a piece of 100% cotton fabric and cut it into squares. Then I've written the color name on the piece of fabric using a Sharpie marker. These squares have already been soaked in soda ash and wrung out by hand. Then I placed each one of the squares inside of a small zippered bag, and I'm just squirting a little bit of the dye color down inside of the bag. Then I'm using my hands to make sure each part of the fabric gets fully coated with the dye. Then I'm going to zip the baggie up and set it aside and allow it to process. I left these about 36 hours. I mixed the dye up according to their instructions, and Dyespin was nice enough to not only write the color name on top of their container, but also the ratio of how to mix up the dye. I went ahead and scaled down the amount that I used and only mixed up a 1/4 cup of each color of dye. So like I mentioned earlier, up until about a month ago, I hadn't ever heard of Dyespin. According to their website, they're currently an online-only store. And just like the other suppliers that I purchased the Procyon fiber reactive dyes from, they mix their own colors, so they have quite a few different unique colors. I tried to purchase a fairly wide variety of colors just to try them out. Not only do they sell the fiber reactive dyes, but they also sell the chemicals that you would need, as well as some other tie-dye tools. By the way, I forgot to mention this is a company out of Wildwood, Missouri. Okay, so let me give you a rundown of the colors that I purchased. I bought Velvet Orchid, Flint Stone, Wild Mushroom, English Violet, Evensong, Washed Denim, Blue Linen, Deep Ocean, Retro, Crimson Rose, Huckleberry, Pure Magenta, and Pink Lilac. I tried to choose some lighter colors and some darker colors. I want to use the colors to both liquid dye and ice dye, and so I was hoping some of the darker colors would give me really good color splits. So far I've only used the liquid on one shirt, and it turned out really pretty. I have a couple shirts right now that are processing that I've used the dye to ice dye with, so I'll have to get back with you on how that worked. Okay, so here are all my color swatches, and I think they turned out beautiful. I think the colors are nice and bright and very vivid. I'm really happy with these dyes. And like I mentioned earlier, I love the fact that they write the name of the dye on top of the container, as well as how much and in what ratio to mix the dye. I tried to show it to you, but I know it's a little bit fuzzy. Some of the dyes only take like a 1/4 teaspoon to a 1/2 cup. Some take 2 teaspoons of dye into a 1/2 cup of water. But I really appreciate adding those ratios to the top of the container. It makes it a lot easier when I'm mixing up the dye. Also, the color swatches that I made are very similar to the ones that are on their website. So the color swatches on their website are a great representation of how the colors actually turn out. We've all had those colors that we've purchased before, and when you make a swatch with them or when you use them on a shirt, they don't look hardly anything like the color swatch on the website. But their color swatches are a great representation of what the dyes actually look like after they're mixed. Okay guys, like I said earlier, I don't represent this company and I paid for all my own dye colors, but I just thought I would share my swatches with you in case maybe you're looking for another place to purchase dye. So as always, I hope you guys have a great day, and I sure would appreciate it if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you all for watching.